In the relentless, sun-scorched canyons of the Hoenn region, gravity isn't just a law of physics. It's a personal insult to a creature named Bagon. Imagine a biological bowling ball with legs and a dream that defies every scrap of common sense. Bagon is a small dragon with a skull dense enough to survive a head-on collision with a freight train, which is convenient, considering his primary hobby is throwing himself off cliffs. While other Pokémon learn to hunt, Bagon spends his time staring at the clouds with a look of existential longing. To the casual observer, he is a tragic figure. To the local Skarmory flock circling above, he is a recurring comedy act. The Skarmory are the undisputed steel-clad jerks of these thermals. With wings like razor-sharp blades and a temperament that combines the elegance of a knight with the cruelty of a high school bully, they rule the sky. They watch Bagon with a mixture of pity and boredom. One scarred veteran with wings the color of a thunderstorm takes sadistic pleasure in diving just low enough to ruffle the dust around Bagon, cawing a metallic laugh. It's a clear message. The sky is a private club, kid, and you're not on the guest list. But Bagon doesn't care about guest lists. He climbs the highest jagged spire, his claws scraping ancient limestone. He looks down at the dizzying drop, takes a breath of thin air, and jumps. The fall is never graceful. It's the frantic flailing of a creature with the aerodynamic profile of a brick. He hits the ledge with a resounding thud, stands up, and looks back at the peak. His DNA is screaming that dragons are meant to soar. He isn't just falling, he is training his spirit for a revolution. The endless cycle of falling and failing has finally triggered a radical biological response. Bagon has vanished, but he hasn't left the canyon. Instead, he has retreated into a shell of impenetrable white bone, becoming a Shelgon. From the outside, he looks like a misplaced boulder, a silent orb of calcified frustration sitting at the base of the cliffs. But don't let the lack of movement fool you. Inside this ivory fortress, a cellular civil war is being waged. The DNA that once commanded him to walk is being rewritten under the sheer pressure of his obsession. He is a biological pressure cooker, refining his muscles and forging new appendages in the dark, suffocating heat of his own skin. High above, the Skarmory are confused. Their favorite comedian has stopped performing. The veteran Skarmory dives down, clanking its metallic wings against Shelgon's shell, testing the density of this new, boring rock. He screeches a mocking challenge, but there is no response. To the winged bullies, the dream is dead. They believe the falling lizard has finally accepted his place as a stationary object. They couldn't be more wrong. Inside the shell, Shelgon's eyes are wide open, staring at the pitch-black ceiling of his prison. Every insult from the steel birds above is registered. Every mocking caw is fuel for the fire burning in his marrow. He is no longer just dreaming of the sky. He is preparing to conquer it. The weight of his shell is immense, making even a single step a Herculean task, but he welcomes the burden. He knows that to shatter the laws of nature, he must first endure the crushing weight of his own evolution. The silence of the canyon is heavy, a tense prelude to a structural failure that will soon rewrite the aerial hierarchy forever. The tension in the canyon has reached its breaking point. The white shell of Shelgon, once a symbol of his grounded prison, begins to vibrate with a frequency that shatters the surrounding pebbles. It's not just an evolution, it's a structural rebellion. With a sound like a mountain splitting in two, the ivory fortress disintegrates into a cloud of calcified dust. From the debris, a shadow expands, massive, crimson, and lethal. The dream has finally grown wings. Meet Salamence. He is the living proof that if you want something badly enough, biology will eventually apologize and grant your request. He stands for a moment, breathing in the air he used to watch from below, his new wings twitching with raw, unadulterated power. Above, the veteran Skarmory's mocking screech dies in its throat. The falling rock has become a dragon, and the aerial hierarchy is collapsing in real time. Salamence doesn't wait for an invitation. With a single, earth-shaking flap of his crescent-shaped wings, he launches himself into the blue. The takeoff creates a vacuum that nearly sucks the oxygen out of the canyon floor. He isn't just flying, he is colonizing the sky. His flight is violent, chaotic, and incredibly fast, fueled by decades of repressed gravity. He targets the lead Skarmory first. The steelbird tries to retreat into the higher thermals, but Salamence is already there, a blur of blue and red. With a roar that echoes like a localized thunderstorm, he unleashes a dragon breath so intense it turns the air into a shimmering tunnel of energy. The sky is no longer a private club. It's a hunting ground. The bullies of the canyon are realizing that the lizard who spent his life hitting the ground has finally learned how to make everyone else hit it instead. The sky above the Hoenn canyons has been rewritten in shades of fire and crimson. The Skarmory, once the arrogant overlords of the wind, are now scattered like metallic scrap in a hurricane. Their leader, the scarred veteran, attempts one final desperate steel-wing dive, but Salamence simply tilts his massive frame, catching a thermal he once only dreamed of touching. With a flick of his tail, he bats the steel bird aside as if it were a common fly. This isn't just a battle for territory. It is the final catharsis of a creature that refused to accept the limitations of his own skeleton. The bullying has ended. The era of the dragon has begun. Salamence ascends higher than any Skarmory would ever dare, reaching the thin, freezing air of the upper stratosphere. He looks down at the jagged peaks where he once fell, day after day, shattering his skull against the uncompromising rock. From this height, the obstacles of his childhood look like mere grains of sand. He lets out a roar that ripples through the clouds, a sound that combines the joy of freedom with the terrifying authority of an apex predator. The canyon dwellers below fall silent, recognizing the voice of their new sovereign. The story of Salamence is the ultimate biological middle finger to the status quo. He is the living proof that a sufficiently powerful desire can literally rewrite the genetic code of a species. He doesn't just fly, he dominates the very concept of flight. As the sun begins to set, casting a golden glow over his scales, the Emperor of the Peaks glides into the horizon. The ground is no longer his enemy. It is simply the place where everyone else lives. He belongs to the infinite blue now.